I mean, it's not like anyone was playing competitive Pokemon anyways, right? You go on the Battle Stadium, doubles has always been dead, singles is dead, VGC is all cheaters, so Regulation G allowing one legendary Pokemon. Does this even matter, and is anyone left to even care? Also weird, we have like not quite GS Cup rules. Looks like this is going to be going into Pokemon Worlds as well. I saw this announcement, Worlds 2024 dates to be announced next weekend. So I imagine with the announcement, they're also going to say like, yo, this is the Pokemon Worlds format. So I think it is kind of cool that you get one legendary Pokemon to kind of build your strategy around. But Terapagos just like bricks everything, right? Koraidon, Miraidon, that's also kind of crazy. I haven't played free Battle Spot. I don't think like if anyone was practicing, they were like practicing GS Cup and not the pseudo. So who even knows how far all of this gets pushed. And here's the list of legendary Pokemon. Mewtwo, Lugia, Ho-Oh, Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza, Dialga and their forms, Giratina, Reshiram, Zekrom, Kyurem, Cosmog, Solgaleo, Lunala, Necrozma forms. I don't even know, man, because again, I didn't pay attention to that stuff for Generation 7. Zacian, Zamazenta, always Menace, Eternatus, Calyrex. Like, what are you supposed to do when you're allowed one of the Calyrexes, Zacian, Zamazenta, or Koraidon, Miraidon, Terapagos? Like, I guess we'll see diversity in that. And maybe there's something crazy about Necrozma or Eternatus. So you just have to kind of build your team around that. But the other three pleb Pokemon, how are they going to even stand up to this girth? I don't know. Like, again, I could, like, if it was worth trying for. You guys might have noticed that I always sit out GS rules for everything. And I just kind of don't care about competitive Pokemon. Also, there's even less people playing, like, a year after the main series game comes out. And yeah, it has been kind of weird because I was playing Pokemon Let's Go competitive and having the most fun I've ever had playing competitive Pokemon while all the Ultra shenanigans were going on. It maybe could have been fun to try to like find something and cheese something, or maybe even pick up an off-meta legendary Pokemon to kind of play it. Like, are we going to see Trick Room Kyogre underspeed the Koraidon? Or not even like Trick Room, but just like slower Kyogre to underspeed Koraidon, and then shenanigans happen. A terrain setter to mess up Miraidon. Like, there could be some cool, fun stuff to explore with this, especially because it's only one legendary Pokemon. You treat their legendary Pokemon like a Mega Pokemon. You get rid of it, that's their ace. You can now use your legendary Pokemon to run them over if you counter and set up the strats. So maybe there could be something there. The problem is, though, legendary rules are always going to have an even bigger cheating problem, and no one cares about the game anyways. So that's the news. I just kind of wanted to ramble on it and see what people think. I'm imagining a lot of people are going to say, like, yeah, I haven't played competitive Pokemon this year, or since the DLC, or even the last couple of regulations. I mean, some people didn't even pick up competitive Pokemon at all, which is apparent in the, like, low player turnout and 98% of the players being Japanese anyways on the Battle Stadium. So, like, the whole generation has kind of sucked competitively, even though I played competitive Pokemon more this generation than almost any other generation. I found it really fun, even though it was ugly. Even though that's like the entire battle playlist is me saying this generation is ugly, and the regulations and DLC and power creep only made it non-stop uglier, but I liked solving the puzzle. I liked reaffirming that I'm one of the best Pokemon players ever. You disqualify all the cheaters, and I am the best Pokemon player ever, and I proved that with strategy and adaptation, and still being able to pick, like, the uncommon, off-meta, anti-meta Pokemon, and persevering through the anti-setup Japanese meta that has ruined my existence for over the last year. However, a lot of players found Generation 9 just to be too difficult to play competitively. They never hit Master Ball rank, they might have tried for a regulation or two, they might not have just been able to play into the power creep or the terrestrial mechanic, and then they just quit instead of trying. And that's another rant I have about gaming, and anyone that's followed this channel for long enough or watches the RMTS podcast I co-host. I complain about how everyone is weak, society is weak, everyone's entitled, no one wants to put time in. That goes into everyone cheating in Pokemon. Everyone's just a brat. If something's too difficult or takes too much time, no one perseveres and puts in the effort. They either skip it, cheat, or just give up, and that's the most prevalent inside of Pokemon. So we're a far cry away from Generation 6, where people came back into Pokemon and they were like, wait, this breeding thing is kind of fun. Learning the mechanics, that's cool. Maybe I'll do some shiny hunting. Competitive is hard, but I'm gonna try to get good. And if I get good enough, maybe I can feature on Fan Fridays. And that just goes into something I've hated about the Nintendo Switch generation of Pokemon. Love Pokemon Let's Go. Sword and Shield, still peak, especially with the DLC. Scarlet and Violet, very good games. But no battle replays. What's the point? What's the point of doing anything if like you can't share and show off and then have something to post to social media to show your growth and development or awesome strategy that is dumpstering people, and then maybe you hit Master Ball tier with it and you feel accomplished. In Pokemon, finding accomplishment is difficult because the meta is brutal. And then everyone else is cheating, and even if you do get a win, you don't get to save it, and then that memory is lost forever if you weren't recording it on a $100 capture device or something like that. And then more and more of society, especially the younger generations, don't want to work for their things, and they're getting weaker, so there's just like less being applied into it. And no one was really playing or engaging with the games to begin with, despite the record sales. Now, I'm wondering what's happening with this. You know, if we're already going into legendaries, that means we got like full-on GS Cup for an entire year for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. What does that mean for Worlds? What does that mean for Pokemon Legends ZA? Is Game Freak actually going to like make a smart decision about a Pokemon Legends game and have competitive? But then like, why didn't Arceus have it? Why is ZA called Legends when it should have just been Pokemon Z version and a direct X and Y sequel, not locked in Lumio City? Is the post game outside of Lumio City and then it effectively just becomes a regular main series game? Is there going to be competitive and Pokemon training and stuff like that? Are they going to change the mechanics? So there's a lot of questions up in the air about that one. Is like, yeah, who even knows where the multiplayer is for Legends ZA now with this announcement? Because at least with Pokemon Let's Go, VGC still had the Ultra formats for Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. But like, how do you keep? I guess like, do they do a regulation where there's no legendaries and there's a couple regionals on that, and they bring them back in, or no Terra, and they just start going like super freestyle with the rules on the last season? That's not cool. That's not fun. Like, that makes me wish for the old days where like, yeah, ORAS introduced legendaries and that was just the format before GS Cup, but it was just better to have like a stable competitive format the entire time. But then because of all the cheating, there's no point to play. Pokemon just being the worst community out there. I don't know, things are kind of weird, and like, does this have implications for the future? But no one even cares about that. So yeah, Pokemon, alright, they're just kind of dead. Legends ZA made it extra dead unless they just actually turn it into a traditional Z version and have nothing to do with Legends for the branding, because Game Freak is completely lost. And now we just like wait for Palworld to keep crushing it, or whatever other game. Like, dang, Pokemon fumbled. Like, even, like, again, I say, like, Let's Go is so good, because it goes Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Let's Go, Sword and Shield. Top 3 Pokemon games all time. But they still fumbled on the Switch. Super hard. No Pokemon Quest 2. No Battle Revolution 2, to at least have some kind of official battle simulator to where cheating isn't as much of a problem. But if they don't ban Wolfie VGC, then there's no point to release any of that. Nintendo Switch 2 timing is making Game Freak even more confused and stressed. And now, like, it's just all garbage that the regular person doesn't care about. And the casual capture is gone compared to games like Pokemon X and Y. And even Pokemon Sun and Moon, they were ready for it again. So there we go, guys. That's my ramble on what's going on with competitive Pokemon, because I haven't picked it up in a while. I haven't done any of the Terra Raid events. Why? I already have all these Pokemon, and no one's playing the game to care about Terra to begin with, and everyone else is hacking them in. And it's a Meganium, which you're never going to use anyways, especially now with the Legendary format. So, there's tons of failings across the board, and it goes back to what I have to say. Like, Pokemon is as strong as its community. It's not about the games. You can have a bad Pokemon game, but if everyone's trying to make the best of it, you're going to have a solid experience. There is no community, and now we're going into a format that allows one of the new busted legendary Pokemon. Fun. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Man, I always end up on that where I'm just like, oh, that's just so sour and gross to say. Like, I hope you enjoy everything being terrible. But, you know, we got a video about that. Hope you at least have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.